Hello again. Tonight, I want to talk to you a little bit about the feeling that you get sometimes after your breakup, from time to time, depending on what happened, what you're doing, what you thought about, and so on, that you feel depressed. And then suddenly, everything seems like, it's not as good as you thought it was just a minute ago or a day ago. So, in those cases, what you usually end up doing, I guess, would be lounging around the house, around your apartment, around your place, um, couch potato, maybe with a blanket, or eating all the time, or watching some movies, or not doing your stuff and just sulking or thinking, or forgetting about all the bigger, huger, I mean, real serious problems that people have in the world, and only focusing on how bad it is for you and how bad you feel. Well, that's a normal feelings that we usually get when we have something undesirable has happened or experienced something of that sort, especially things like breakups and things, which emotions are involved. But what you should notice is that the more you lounge around the house, the more you sit around your your room, on your couch and do nothing or watch TV, the more you will feel depressed. Because in life, everything is about energy, and the plus brings plus energy, and negative brings negative energy. That's why you should always focus on being around positive people, people who are doing something with their life, people who are happy naturally, not for certain using certain substances. People who are actually having plans, following certain sequence of duties and responsibilities, and trying to accomplish things every day. And these are the people that you should be hanging around, because the energy around them is a better energy than places that are negative and it makes you feel down. These sort of things are important when we are feeling great, let alone when we feel depressed for some reason, one reason or another. So, first, you got to make sure that you won't be hanging around doing nothing, because of the energy of negativity brings more of that, and you'll end up going deeper and deeper in feeling worthless or useless, and all the thoughts that we talked about is just nonsense, and you shouldn't be focusing on that. And if you have any question about what we talked about, you can go back and find sections that we talked about how to feel better when we say we broke up with our girlfriend and we feel terrible. So that's one thing you got to do. The other thing is that to get out of a hole, let's say if you're driving and you're one of the tires falling there in the mud, what do? You let it stay there? No, you start pushing it out, because it won't come out by itself. The same thing with us. When you feel that way, that you feel low and you feel depressed, you got to do something. With the car, usually you bring, I don't know, you put some kind of a wooden object, a board of some kind in front of the tire, and make sure that the tire travels on that piece of wood, not on the mud, to turn and keep turning the wheel, not having proper contact, friction enough to move itself out of the muddy pit. And with us, the same. We got to help ourselves. We got to do something to encourage that movement forward. Otherwise, if you keep sitting there without help, well, that's where you're going to end up being, sitting there, and the more and more you feel depressed. So, remember, the kind of help that we were talking about, we just talked about how you get the car out of a mud pit. In our cases, is by doing things. Those helps interpreted to doing things that you should be doing. Such as whether you got to study, prepare for exam, do it. You got to go to work, do it. You got to clean your room, do it. Clean your house, do it. If you're supposed to go to library study, do it. If you're supposed to go shopping, go ahead, do it. If you're supposed to go and, I don't know, clean your bathroom, go do it. If you have a business meeting, go do it. If you have to prepare for it and write something, go do it. Why? Two things will happen when you do these things. Three things. First of all, it's going to help you like when you want to get the car out of the mud pit. One. Two, it's going to get the things that were supposed to get done, so they won't suffer and the consequences will not come on your head more than what you're trying to handle at the moment. Three, when you do these little things, as little as they may be or as big as they may be, but the things that needed to be done, and when you do them and get them done, there is a feeling of something got done happen to you. There's a feeling of satisfaction, accomplishment happens to you. And that feeling that you didn't fall behind of your duties or the things that you were supposed to do because you're depressed, but you didn't fall behind at the things that were important and you were supposed to do, that gives you a feeling of accomplishment, which in turn, that satisfaction brings a bit of elation, makes you feel good. When you feel good, it's like you're happy, as little as it may be. But that happiness itself creates a certain chemical. Your brain exudes and creates that kind of a chemical that is necessary for your body, which is naturally produced when you feel happy. And that is what gets you out of that depressing feeling. That's the little wood in front of the tire that pushes you out. And it has to be created naturally. Therefore, don't go run around just because you feel that way because you broke up. Go get a pill of some kind from a doctor or from wherever you get your hands on of feeling to tranquil you or make you feel good, or feeling that depressed, and you tell the doctor, and doctors these days quickly give you a pill for depression. Don't treat it that way. These are natural feelings and emotions that we go through, and like the car that falls into a little dip, a little puddle and a pit, it'll come out of it. It may take a bit of time, but it comes out of it. It needs a little help, and that little help is a natural help. Is by doing your things, creating that feeling of satisfaction, and that would be the help. That would be the chemical that would be produced in your brain, and then you feel better and gets you out. Just like the wood you put in front of the car, just a little push. But if you give it a big push, like, I don't know, bring a truck and hit it behind the car, that's gonna have other possible damages or repercussions. So you don't need a big help. Therefore, don't go to your doctor and start saying, I'm depressed, I need a depression pill, and they quickly give it to you. Whether they feel like they have to, or they feel sorry for you, or maybe they feel like the drug companies wanted them to give it to you. So don't rush into such conclusions, and try to help yourself to understand it's a temporary feeling of sadness. And that's part of the emotions that we're supposed to be experiencing. So remember, the best thing to do is do your little things, whatever they are, do them all as they should be done. So first, you create a positive energy into yourself. Second, you get out and do things which you see other people, and you realize there is a world out there. It's not just everything has come to an end. Everybody has in their life and their world, and there's opportunities out there that will help get your mood back. Also, it will get the things that were supposed to be done. Your energy has changed, as we talked about, and you feel satisfied for having accomplished or done the things that were supposed to be done, and they didn't fall behind because of this, so you don't feel more guilty of any kind because you haven't done your stuff. And that gives you a feeling of satisfaction, happiness, and contentment. That is then where you get that endorphin, or that happy feeling that your brain naturally creates, and that is the push that gets rid of the depression and makes you feel better. That's why you should make sure to have some regimens of exercise, eating well. Don't eat junk, don't eat all this sugar stuff, because when you're depressed, the brain wants this sugar stuff. Don't do that. Stick with healthy, good stuff, a little bit of an exercise, and do your stuff that you're supposed to do. Go out, and even if you have to push yourself, meet with friends and do positive things. And the feeling of having done all these things creates that satisfaction, accomplishment, sense of accomplishment, creates that endorphin, creates that happy feeling by your brain naturally. And then that is what washes away the depression feeling A little bit at the beginning and a little bit more as you continue it, and eventually, before you know it, time has passed and you're balanced again. So pretty much that's all I wanted to share with you. And just don't treat yourself less than what you deserve. And what you deserve is a positive gathering, positive atmosphere, positive actions and functions and projects, and then you will be out of it before you know it. Have a nice evening, and don't forget, you can do anything you put your mind to it, and just treat yourself well, kindly, respectfully. Think about what you want to be doing, make plans, make positive things to happen for you, and the rest is just a domino effect. The life will be much better sooner. Have a nice evening. Talk to you soon.